Hello students, in this tutorial we will learn what is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. In classical physics, we know that a particle occupies a definite place in space and possesses a definite momentum. Knowing the particle's position and momentum at any given instant of time, it is possible to evaluate its position and momentum at any later point of time, and the trajectory of the particle could be continuously traced. But such a notion breaks down in atomic scale. In the theories of classical physics does not hold good for quantum particle. In quantum physics, a moving particle is regarded as a wave group, which implies that there are fundamental limitations in the accurate measurement of particles' position and momentum. So, if anyone knows what is the exact position of a particle at any given instant of time, they can easily calculate what is the momentum of that particle in any given instant of time. If suppose anyone does not know what is the position of a particle or what is the exact position of a particle at any given instant of time, then it is difficult to find out what is the momentum of that particle in any given instant of time in the near future. So here comes the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, and as we realize from the principle that it is impossible to know both the exact position and exact momentum of an object at the same time. To make it more clear what is involved, let us look into an example. Consider you are holding a very long rope and generating a wave by shaking it up and down rhythmically. If someone asks you, where is the wave? You would probably answer, everywhere on the rope, or the wave isn't anywhere, it is spread over the entire rope. On the other hand, if he asks you, what is the wavelength? You would give a reasonable answer just by measuring the distance between the two waves. By contrast, if you gave the rope a sudden jerk, you would get a relatively narrow bump traveling the rope. This time, the answer for the question, where is the wave, would be reasonable, but for the question, what is the wavelength, would look like vague. You cannot assign a wavelength to it because in these two cases, you can see that in the first case, a wave is fairly the wavelength is fairly well defined, and in the second case, a wave is well localized. Thus, more precise the wave position is, less precise is its wavelength, and vice versa. The analogy of generating a series of waves or just a bump of wave using a rope can also be used to explain any wave phenomenon, and also it can be used to explain wave function of a quantum mechanical particle. Let us look at a wave group. The particle that corresponds to this wave group may be located anywhere within the group at a given time. A wide wave group has a clearly defined wavelength. The momentum that corresponds to this wavelength is therefore a precise quantity, and a series of measurements can give a narrow range of values. But where is the particle located? The width of the group is now too great for us to be able to say exactly where the particle is at a given time. In a narrower wave group, a particle's position can be specified more precisely. However, the wavelength of the waves in a narrow packet is not well defined. There are not enough waves to measure lambda accurately. This means that the de Broglie wavelength lambda, which is equal to h by mv, the particle's momentum mv, is not a precise quantity. If we make a series of momentum measurements, we will find a broad range of values. Thus, we have the uncertainty principle. It is impossible to know both the exact position and exact momentum of an object at the same time. Now, let us see the mathematical description of uncertainty principle. We all know that de Broglie wavelength of a particle of momentum p is given by lambda is equal to h by p. The corresponding wave number is given by k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. By substituting the value of lambda is equal to h by p in the equation, we get 2 pi p by h, that will be equal to k, the corresponding wave number. So, the wave number, the particle's momentum in terms of wave number is given by p is equal to hk by 2 pi. According to the equation 3, uncertainty k in the wave number of the de Broglie waves associated with the particle results in an uncertainty delta p in the particle's momentum. So this gives us the equation or the uncertainty of the momentum in the equation 3 as delta p is equal to h delta k by 2 pi. But the product of delta x and delta k is greater or equal to half. This relation between delta x and delta k depends upon the shape of the wave group and upon how delta x and delta k are defined. The measurements and calculations shows that the minimum value of the product delta x and delta k is equal to 1 by 2, or that will be equal to 1 by half. Then delta k is greater or equal to what? 1 over 2 delta x. Using this in the above equation, we get, that is using equation 5 in 4, we get the product of delta x and delta p is greater or equal to h by 4 pi. This equation can also be written in the form as the product of delta x into delta p is greater or equal to h cross by 2, or that is also called as h bar by 2, where h cross is equal to h by 2 pi. So this equation gives us that the product of the uncertainty delta x in the position of an object at some instant and the uncertainty delta p in its momentum component in the x direction at the same instant is equal to or greater than h by 4 pi. If we arrange the experimental arrangement such that so that delta x is small corresponding to a narrow wave group, then delta p will be large. If we reduce delta p in some way, a broad wave group is inevitable and delta x will be large. So, from this principle, we realize that it is impossible to determine simultaneously both the position and momentum of a particle accurately. Any effort made to make a measurement very accurately of the position of the particle results in a large uncertainty in the measurement of momentum and vice versa. The upper limit of delta product of delta x and delta p is nearly equal to h. That is the maximum value of the product of delta x and delta p. That is the product of the uncertainty of delta x and uncertainty of delta p is approximately equal to h cross, that is equal to the Planck's constant, and the lower limit of this equation is h by 4 pi. So that means the maximum value of the product of delta x and delta p is equal to h, and the minimum value of the product of delta x and delta p is equal to h by 4 pi. From the analysis of the above equation, statement of the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle has been framed, and it states that in any simultaneous determination of the position and momentum of a particle, the product of the corresponding uncertainties inherently present in the measurement is equal to or greater than h by 4 pi. Accuracies of position and momentum in x-axis is given by delta x into delta px, which is greater than or equal to h cross by 2 pi, and in y-axis the product of delta y and delta py, which is greater or equal to delta h by h cross by 2, where delta y is the displacement along y-axis and delta py is the momentum along the y-axis. And in z-axis, delta z and delta pz is greater or equal to h cross by 2 pi. So how we have the uncertainty in the position and in the accuracies of position and momentum are there. In the same way, we have other forms of uncertainty principle also. So which are they? Here are the following. The uncertainty principle applies for pairs of conjugate variables like position and momentum, energy and time, and angular momentum and angular displacement. The uncertainty in energy and time is given by delta E into delta t greater or equal to h cross by 2 pi, and the uncertainty in angular momentum and angular displacement is given by the product of delta L and delta phi, which is greater or equal to h cross by 2 pi, where L is the angular momentum and phi is the angular displacement.